Hi everyone, my name is Jesse, and this is my first YouTube channel. And I'm gonna mostly start telling stories on here, just tell some stories that happened in my life. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. But this story takes place when I was 14, and technically last year, but my mom and my dad were going through a process of, separating. And during that time, my dad was cheating on my mom with this girl named Brittany. We met her before because my dad, he took us to this bar before, and he said that he was gonna bring a friend, and the girl that came, guess who it was? It was Brittany. But we didn't know that like they were doing anything. But later on, we found out that my dad or the girl actually posted on Instagram for my dad's birthday, happy birthday, my love, and like all that. The lovey-dovey shit, but my mom found out, and because my mom also was told by one of her friends that my dad was at Madrano's with her, and my mom the next day, obviously she's pissed off and starts yelling at him, saying, "Who the fuck is this bitch?" And my dad, he would deny it a lot, saying, "No one, no one. Why are you checking stuff? Who told you?" Like try to figure out how did she figure out? And he would never admit, but he would just laugh about it, saying that my mom's crazy. And, and during this time, I remember my sister and we were sitting in the living room with my mom and her friend. And my sister, she was like, "Bebe, should I tell her?" And I was like, "Tell her what?" And she was like, "What dad did." And I was like, "Go ahead, I don't care. It's just whatever." And she was like, "What did he do?" And she told her of she know if she knows about like him cheating. And she would say like, he would mention it a lot, he was gonna cheat on my mom, but she never really like thought would really happen. And she was like, "Yeah, but he wouldn't really do it." And my sister, one time, she went to a Riff Raff concert with my dad. And, before they went there, my dad had to pick up someone. And she said that she picked up the girl, Brittany. And he said that they were like talking like a couple. He was treating her nice. He was giving her stuff, like treating her way more different than how he would treat my mom. And my sister, she was like, it really hurt seeing that because it's just the way he would treat our mom, but he would treat another girl way more better. And after my sister tells my mom, she looks sad for a bit, and then she automatically just goes to texting him and calling him, saying, "Why the fuck you cheating me?" And like she goes automatically into action. And right after that, he comes home and automatically they start arguing. And, a couple days later, they start talking about selling the house because they don't want to be together anymore. So my dad and my mom are now discussing about selling the house. And this is where the story comes in. So a couple months later, it's like summer break now. And I'm like, you know what? I want to do shrooms. And, I did it before. I was not experienced, obviously. I did it like 2 times before. And this is my third time trying to do it. So obviously I had somewhat of what to do. So obviously I'm like, okay, I'm gonna play careful. I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna do all that. I'm gonna drink water, stay hydrated. I'm gonna play at minimum. I'm gonna not do a lot. And I eat soup, which was obviously a bad sign because I used to throw up a lot when I ate those, and I mean a lot. So I don't know what happened with my stomach or what, but it was something between mixing that and shrooms, and I would just throw up. And after I ate that, I went to the garage because my dad, he used to, have it in cabinets, and I would just go in there, grab the bag, and I grabbed 3 pieces one time, and that was enough. And I ate them, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna listen to music, I'm gonna sleep on my bed, look at the wall, and just wait for it something to kick in. And 30 minutes later, I just start feeling weird. Like, I feel uneasy. I don't feel like myself. And I'm just like, okay, I feel it now. And, you know, it was just, I got so scared that I had to call my girlfriend. And I needed her to really comfort me. And I was just like, I love you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. And she's obviously yelling at me, saying, why are you doing that? You shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Just saying I should have never did it. And she's right. But, she gets me to fall asleep eventually. And once I fall asleep, I'm right there trying to sleep. And the next minute I wake up to banging on my door. And, I thought it was just the door, like the front door. And I thought it was my dad at first because he would bang on the front door if we locked the garage door. And, he would just try to get in. But then I hear the bang again, and it's on my door. And I'm like, who's banging on it? Then next minute, I just hear my mom's yelling at me to get up. And I'm like, what happened? And she's like, someone's at the door. And I was like, what happened? Who's at the door? And she was like, I don't know. Go check. And automatically, I get up. I just open the door, and I go check the cameras. And I'm like, who? And I check it, and it's a cop at 2 a.m., and it's just a girl cop in gear that just comes to our door, knocks on it, and then just walks off into the dark. And we're like, why did she knock? Did she need something? Was there a suspect that she wanted to talk to us about? What? Why did she knock? And, we're just like, okay, that's weird. And we called my dad, and we're like, this girl cop came to our door and just knocked. And he was like, what? Cops? And that's when he just like gets into full panic mode. And, he's like, okay, I'm on my way. And, he's coming. And like 13 minutes later, he's here. And he starts packing all of his stuff, saying, what's going on? Why are the cops here? Oh my God, they're here for me. And, he starts tripping out. And I'm like, what the heck? And I just go to my room because I'm just tripping out too much to like really deal with it. I still feel the shrooms in my I still see visuals. I'm over there seeing the wall still warping, and like I'm still like out of it. And the next minute I just hear distant yelling, and I'm like, who's yelling? And the next minute I hear my dad, because his voice starts to come into play. And when I hear it, he's yelling at my mom, saying that she's stupid, that the cops are gonna come for him, he's gonna get killed. And we're like, what? And obviously I go out and I'm like, Dad, nothing's gonna happen. I don't think the cops are here for you. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And he just starts yelling at me. And my mom, she's like, what happened? What did you do? And he was like, I knew I shouldn't fucking trust any of you guys. This is why I'm about to leave. And, he was just freaking out completely. And we're like, okay, calm down. The cops aren't here for you. They just left. And he was like, okay, they're going to swap me. And, I kind of believed it because I used to think they would just knock on your door and then just wait for you to come outside until you're outside and point guns at us. And obviously I'm afraid because I'm like, who called the SWAT team on? And next minute, he's yelling at my mom and, grabbing other stuff. And when he's about to leave, he starts yelling at my mom again more and saying that he'll go to jail. He doesn't care anymore, that his life's about to be over. If the cops come in, that he's about to quit because he's not going to jail. And I was like, okay, calm down, just leave already if you're really this paranoid. And he looks at me and he's like, shut the fuck up, you're just a kid, you shouldn't be fucking talking. And I'm just like, okay, but you just said you're about to leave. If you're really this concerned, then just leave. Why are you still spending time yelling? And he's like, what are you gonna do? Shut the fuck up, this is why you're fucking annoying. And he gets in my face and pulls up his pants like, what are you gonna fucking do? Huh? And then I'm just looking at him. I can't do anything, bro. I'm just too distraught. I'm just like, I don't want to fight you. Why would I fight you? I don't want to fight my dad. And he just looks at me, say, what are you gonna fucking do? And obviously he tried to scare me with a little flinch. And I obviously wasn't scared. Ooh, big dog, big dog. But he was like, yeah, that's why you're fucking bitch. And then he just fucking walked off and still kept packing while yelling at my mom. Well, actually, he stopped yelling at my mom, but he was just yelling at me the more. And, once he leaves, my mom and I just go into the bathroom and I'm just crying and crying. And then, I go back to sleep because my girlfriend, she was on the call still, saying what happened. And I tell her. And once I tell her, I just go back to sleep. And the next day, I go to school. And guess what I find right there laying in bed? Like a fucking snuggle bunny, bro. My dad. Right next to my fucking mom. Like nothing ever fucking happened, bro. And, I was pissed off because, bro, you really better let this dude just beat the shit out of me. And then you just let him fucking come back and just snuggle with him like nothing ever happened, bro. But I hope you guys enjoyed the story because, I'm not there anymore, obviously. We figured it out. My mom, she moved us away from it. But, during this time, it just hurt. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Or don't. It's either one. It's your guys' choice. I'm not forcing y'all. Alright, thank you. Bye.